Hi everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at my prediction for the South Carolina Democratic primary. So right now, if you just take a look at the state of the race, first I'll just briefly go over my predictions and whether I was right or not. So top 5 in Iowa, Bernie Sanders first, that was correct. He did come in first in terms of the popular vote. Joe Biden in second, that's clearly wrong. But then the rest of this order, Buttigieg, then Warren, then Klobuchar, is mostly correct, except Buttigieg and Warren go up one, Biden comes down, and then Klobuchar there. So technically this, I got 2 out of 5 correct, but the order for Buttigieg and Warren was correct in that sense. In terms of New Hampshire, let's just take a look at that. Bernie was correct, Buttigieg was correct, Klobuchar was the one I missed. Klobuchar should have been 2 spots higher, but then the Warren-Biden order was correct, so 1 misstep there. In Nevada, I said Biden in first. That's obviously wrong. Bernie definitely came in first. So Bernie 1, Biden 2, Buttigieg 3, Warren 4, Klobuchar 5. So that was not a great prediction there. Most of those were wrong. So, Nevada. And then South Carolina, that we're going to be taking a look at South Carolina today. Hope to do a bit better than my Nevada prediction. And hopefully predict accurately who's going to be the winner, and also all the way down to 5th place over in South Carolina. So if you just take a look at the top line standing here, Joe Biden is the leader there in South Carolina, 26.8%. This was taken literally 5 minutes ago from the RCP average. Bernie in second at 21.7%. Tom Steyer in third, 14.7%. Pete Buttigieg in fourth at 9.8%. So those are your top 4 candidates in South Carolina. Joe Biden right now looking like he might take South Carolina itself. However, Bernie Sanders right on his heels. He's really closed the cushion for Biden. Biden used to have a massive cushion there. 30 points, 40-point lead in South Carolina. Now it's down to a 5-point lead at this point. And at this point, it does seem that it's really a race between Biden and Bernie, with Steyer also hanging in there. Tom Steyer is another character I want to talk about. Sorry about that. Tom Steyer right now 14.7. If he gets 14.7 on election day, he actually will not receive any delegates in the state of South Carolina, so that would be pretty devastating for his campaign. Tom Steyer, I think, really needs to win, or at least come in a close second in South Carolina if he wants to justify continuing to stay in this race, because he was not barely relevant in Iowa and New Hampshire. Sorry, he was not relevant in Iowa and New Hampshire, and barely relevant in the state of Nevada. South Carolina is his stronghold, so it's going to be interesting to see if he's able to actually pull out either a victory or come in second place. If he comes in a distant third, like the polling is suggesting, especially if he gets less than 15%, I don't think it's easy to justify Mr. Steyer staying in the race. Now, he is going to be participating in the South Carolina debate, I believe, but I'm not exactly sure. We'll have to wait and see. And then Pete Buttigieg in fourth as of this point at 9.8%. He's in a distant fourth. It reminds me of when CNN put out an article about their New Hampshire poll, and it says Pete Buttigieg in fourth, but a strong fourth. And that's like, goodness me, that really isn't a very good headline, because it's very difficult to be in fourth place and still justify it as a win for your campaign, because at the end of the day, only the person who's in first place with in terms of at the convention will actually go on to be the nominee. Not if you're in fourth, not if you're in third, not if you're in 10th, not if you're in second. You're not going to be the nominee. It's only the first place person in terms of delegates plus super delegates, if it does go to super delegates, who's actually going to be the nominee. Okay, in terms of latest polls with leads, there's a new NBC News Marist poll, Biden +4. PPP shows Biden +15. This is a bit of an outlier. All the rest show Biden +4, +5, +5, and that's sort of inflating his average. CBS News, Biden +5. Winthrop, Biden +5. I've never heard of Winthrop, so it seems to be in line with the average of 4, 5, 5. Seems like about right. Minor candidate polling, Elizabeth Warren 9.0, Amy Klobuchar 5.7, Gabbard at 2.7. Okay, so it's going to be interesting to see Warren and Buttigieg, because Buttigieg is at 9.8. Warren misses the cutoff to be in my top 4 rankings there. She's at 9.0, so it's going to be interesting to see how she does as compared to Buttigieg. So overall top line polling takeaways, Joe Biden barely hanging on, but he is hanging on. He's hanging on by 5.1%, but it's very, very tight there for Biden in terms to, have momentum going into Super Tuesday, calling his, comeback kid and everything, all the rest of it. I think he's going to need to win by about at least 10 percentage points there in South Carolina. And so in terms of the plausible outcomes, I would say each candidate's polling plus or minus 5. So in the best case for Biden, his polling is actually under and Bernie's is over. So Biden maybe gets into 30%. Bernie, edging on viability, maybe 15%. That would be great for Biden. On the flip side, if Bernie goes up 5 up to 26.7, Biden goes down 5 to 21.8, then that's the end of his campaign. That's pretty much the range of outcomes in terms of +5, -5. Tom Steyer 14.7. Worst case is not even at 10%. Best case, he gets delegates and he's edging on 20%. Buttigieg at 9.8. Again, worst case, he's Klobuchar kind of level. Actually, with the minor candidates, there's less sort of variability. I'd say worst case for Buttigieg, maybe he gets 6% or 7%. Best case, maybe 12%. Warren's kind of same thing. Klobuchar, maybe worst case maybe 3%, best case 8%. Gabbard, worst case 1%, best case 4% or something like that. So, anyway, Tom Steyer below 15%. Buttigieg and Warren are close to each other. Buttigieg, he had a strong showing in the early states, but limited African American support. Warren had a poor showing in the early states, but more African American support. So I'll be interested to see that dynamic. Klobuchar and Gabbard low polling. So other factors, Sanders half win in Iowa plus the 2-3 punch in New Hampshire and Nevada. Sanders was very close to getting a 1-2-3 punch. If he was actually able to win Iowa, and I think he did win Iowa in my opinion because he won the popular vote. However, he didn't actually win the state delegate equivalents. Warren's Nevada debate performance, and how does the South Carolina debate impact this? So, my projection, I was just going to do top 5, but I'll just say 6 and 7 because I think it's pretty obvious. 7th, Tulsi Gabbard, and 6th, Amy Klobuchar, for obvious reasons. I think they both need to get out of the way and drop out as of this point. Gabbard probably endorses Sanders. Klobuchar endorses, Warren or Biden or someone. In 5th, I see Buttigieg. So that's a change from the polling. Buttigieg is in 4th right now, but I see him getting 5th in South Carolina. I see him not really doing well in his debate, his 10th Democratic debate. It's going to be interesting to see that dynamic. 4th, Elizabeth Warren. Again, I think that, that she may outperform her polling a little bit based on her debate. It's going to be interesting to see if she has a repeat performance in this South Carolina debate. Tom Steyer in third again. I mean, he really needs to come in first or second in South Carolina to justify staying in the race. Bernie Sanders in the second place in top 2, and then Biden in first place. Then if you take a look, overall winners, in terms of my prediction, Bernie wins Iowa, or half wins Iowa, wins New Hampshire, wins Nevada, and then South Carolina still an unknown. And that is the end of the presentation. So this, taking a look at all of the, I'll just skip ahead right to slide 1, all of the early states. I hope you enjoyed this month. It's very, very interesting Democratic primary. I will be hopefully doing a recap video of the 10th Democratic debate if I have time, and then also be taking a look at some Super Tuesday polling. I did take a look at that with Bloomberg and Sanders, but just wanted to take an updated look because South Carolina is on the 29th, and then Super Tuesday there on March 3rd, so it's going to be interesting. I don't think I might make predictions as to who will win each of the Super Tuesday states, but I won't do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for every single state. I might just say who wins and maybe who comes in second place in each of the Super Tuesday states. So that's it for today's video, guys. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one.